Good day, good day, good day. This is Rosemary with Books by Rosemary Downer. I want to introduce a product to you that I'm very excited about. Very, very excited about this product. I think it can be used in many, many different settings that you will find beneficial. So teachers can use it, parents can use it, group leaders can use it. It can be used with couples, friends, any type of gathering, parents and teenagers, icebreakers, retreats, training sessions as icebreakers. It's just tons and tons of ways it can be used. I call it a card game, but it's actually more than a card game. It is called A Closer Look at Me. So it has 3 decks of cards, which I'll share with you in a minute, 3 decks of cards. And in this box are the 3 decks of cards. One deck is called self-awareness, the other self-worth, and the third one is self-care. In each deck are 50 questions. So you have 52 cards in each deck. 2 cards have instructions as to how you can use the cards, and 50 cards have questions on them. And the questions in each respective box addresses the topic. So here, the questions that are in the self-care box are related to self-care. The purpose of this card game or exercise, however we want to describe it, again, it's a game, but it's more than a game. It's to bring us to a place where we can look at ourselves, introspect. This will make you ask yourself questions that you didn't think to ask yourself before. And self-awareness bring you more aware of who you are. Self-worth, help you to look at your worth. Self-worth, self-care, help you to look at how good am I taking care of myself. So I'll go over the rules real quick. The rules that I have in the game are, say you have a group of people, say it's 6-10 people, and let's say you're doing self-care. So you have this stack of cards. So each, I dropped it. Each one is designed differently. So this is self-care. So you have a different design, and you have 50 cards, and each card has a number on it. And on the back side, the cards have the questions. So a person would choose a card, they get a card, or maybe you give them 3 cards, I don't know. And they read the question. So who in the group do I give this question to? So the person read the question to themselves, and based on the contents of the question, they choose somebody in the group to give the card to. That person would then read the card silently and decide if they want to answer the question or trade the card. If they choose to trade the card, well, whichever card they choose, they must answer the question. And they will answer the question out loud. So I'll just take question number 1. I'll choose another one, but this is card number 1, question number 1. And the question is, how am I taking care of myself physically? How am I taking care of myself physically? Then you would begin to answer that question. I go to bed on time, I drink a lot of water, I eat my fruits and vegetables, etc., etc. And if you're not, it's a time for you to share that, and members of the group can then encourage you, give you ideas, probe a little bit. What are some of the challenges? Someone may even say, okay, let's start walking once a week together, or let's start going to the gym together. It's a way of bringing things out and helping a person move from one place to the next, or continuing to do what they are already doing, or could also encourage someone in the group. This question probably could be very fitting for another person in the group. And based on the discussion about the question, that person gets some insight into their own well-being. So now let's choose another card. I'm going to choose this is number 30. This is number 40. Number 40, okay? Number 40 says, what kind of things do I do to honor myself recognize and appreciate the good and the strengths in me. What kind of things do I do to honor myself? That is to recognize and appreciate the good and strengths in me. Sometimes we give so much, we don't stop to honor ourselves. We don't stop to recognize the good and the strong points about ourselves. So this, again, self-awareness, self-care, I'm sorry. What am I doing to take care of me, to recognize the good in me and to foster that good? Again, a good point of discussion with people in the group, and someone can learn from what you say about what you're doing. And if you're not doing what you should do to care for yourself, the good and the strength in you, the encouragement you get from others could then put you in a position to do a better job at that. So that's self-care. We're going to take a look at, let's take a look at self-worth. So this is self-worth, and I'm going to, these are the card, this is the card designed for self-worth. This is card number 1. Card number 1. Oh, and each box has instructions that you can use about the game and some instructions on the back. This is about the game, actually. And then you have an instruction card to tell you different ways you can use the card, right? So now this is designed differently. Each deck of card is designed differently. So now let's choose randomly, and I'm going to take card number 38. And it says, do I think of me in the same way as others think of me? All right, let's choose another one, because on another video, I talk about that question. This is card number 37. It says, do new challenges excite me? Do new challenges excite me? Question, think of something we may not think about. Do I shy away from new challenges? Does it scare me? Does it stress me too much that I don't want to deal with it? Or does it excite me? Does it give me adrenaline, energy to really take on a new challenge? Why? Why not? And then again, it helps you, it helps someone else. Conversation starter and introspective. Number 42. If there was one thing I could do, I'm sorry, let me start over. Number 42. If there was one thing I could change about my life right now, what would it be? If there was one thing I could change about my life right now, what would it be? And maybe there's nothing you would want to change about your life. Why? What are you doing that's working so well? Again, someone in the group could learn from you. And it could bring your mind and your thoughts to something that you probably never thought about or weren't thinking about. And an opportunity to be grateful. There's nothing in my life I would change because everything is going so well. Or what would it be that you would change? Why? How can you change it? Because if you want to change it, if it's possible to change it, because something's going to change, what's stopping you? Where can you start to begin to make that change? So again, it gets you moving, it gets you thinking, it affirms, it corrects, it encourages, it explores. That's what these cards will do. So we looked at self-care, we looked at self-worth. Let's look at self-awareness. So before I do that, it's a 3 decks, a box with 3 decks. And then you also have, you can get a box with 2 decks, right? So it could be 2 decks of cards or 3 decks of cards. If a person buys 1 deck, they get it without a box, but 2, you can get it with a box, and 3, you can get it in the box, okay? So self-awareness, let's, this is the box. I'm going to open it. And again, the designs of the cards is, again, a little different from the other 2 that we saw. We are going to choose card number 15. Card number 15. And card number 15 says, what is my biggest fear? Self-awareness. What is my biggest fear? Why are you so afraid of this thing? Did you have some experiences with it before? What can you do to overcome this fear? Fear of failure, fear of height, fear of water, fear of traveling, fear of public speaking, which is probably one of the most common one. Fear of praying in the public prayers in a prayer meeting or in a group or out loud. Let's deal with it. So here's an opportunity for someone to speak into your life, to encourage you, to move you from one place to the next. And again, another person in the group could be challenged with the same thing, and by the discussion, or could have overcome that thing, and by the discussion is able to pour into your life. All right, so let's choose one more. I am going to choose number 44, and it says, what experience did I have as a child that still impacts my life? What experience did I have as a child that still impacts me today? The answer to this could be positive, it could be painful, it could be negative. So again, a supportive, fun, relaxing, trustworthy, safe environment for introspection. And then if it's something painful, negative, folks can speak again, words of comfort, words of admonition, words of encouragement to you right then and there in that space. So as I said, I believe that this is a tool that can be used in various settings, very diverse, and with a diverse age group. It doesn't have to be adults. It can be teenagers. It can, I believe even 10-year-olds and up can use this, can benefit from this, because self-worth and self-awareness is huge for pre-adolescent, adolescents, young adults, and even adults. And then we have self-care, which is very, very relevant to a lot of us adults that work ourselves down to the bone and take very little care of ourselves. If you are a therapist, if you are a teacher, if you are a group leader of any sort, if you are a trainer, like you do groups, you do group training, this can be, you can choose a card or two, and safe, simple card or two, make that an icebreaker. So tons of, you do retreats, you're looking for an icebreaker, you're looking for a game. When I did this, the sessions couldn't end. They just wanted to keep going and wanted to do all the cards. At that time, I had 36 cards before I made it official, because it was going so very well. There was healing, there was reflecting, it was powerful. So that's when I thought, well, maybe I'm onto something here. And I formalized it and increased it from 36 to 50 questions and got it printed the way I did. So again, 3 cards, self-worth, it's right here. 3 cards in the deck. And this is the cover. Self-awareness, self-worth, self-care, right? With 50 questions each, well formalized. The material that they're made of is very lasting, very structured, with the gloss that it doesn't get dirty. So you can use them over and over and over again. There's well worth getting. If you are interested, there's my website, booksbyrosemary.com. My email is info@booksbyrosemary.com. You can see it on the screen, info@booksbyrosemary.com, and website is Books by Rosemary. I hope you're interested. I hope you can see how you can possibly use this. You can get 1 deck of cards, or you can get 2, or you can get all 3. I hope to hear. The Lord bless you. Until next time.